Welcome to part 4 of Let's Play Seas of Blood by Andrew Chapman. At the end of the last part, I was on paragraph 284. Let's reread this as a reminder. Okay, you walk down for some considerable distance before seeing a light below. Creeping forward, you see 4 troglodytes emerging from a small side passage onto the stairs. They are all armed with spears, and 2 are also carrying a heavy chest between them. You slide behind a large boulder to remain out of sight. Now, the chest looks as though it might contain something valuable. So will you throw small pebbles further down the staircase to distract the troglodytes and split them up before attacking, turn to 112, draw your sword and charge the creatures, turn to 130, or use your sword as a lever to roll the boulder behind which you are hiding out onto the stairs and down to crush the trogs, turn to 161. Okay, we're going to choose that option. We're going to use our sword as a lever and turn to 161. Here we are. With many hard metallic clinks against the boulder, you start it rolling out onto the stairs. The troglodytes, hearing all the commotion, run up towards you. This is quite fortunate for your plan, as it takes the creatures away from the safety of the side passage. When they see the boulder crashing down towards them, they turn tail and try to run. The boulder is too quick, however, and crushes them against the stairs. Turn to 307. With the troglodytes defeated, you split open their chest finding exactly. No, that should be. I'll start again. With the troglodytes defeated, you split open their chest and find exactly 100 gold pieces. Okay, let's put that on our thing. Okay, that puts our gold up to. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Up to 565. There we go. Carrying all of this booty with some difficulty, you turn up the side passage and emerge after a few hundred yards into sunlight. You are outside in the forests of the rock. Heading for the beach, you run into several members of your crew who had been searching the island with the rest of your men in the hope that you were still alive. How loyal of them. You return triumphant to the Banshee and continue your journey. 10 to 15. Once in the southern sea, will you travel to Sharapak to sell any slaves you might have and to recruit more crew, 10 to 301. Head into the Great Kish Delta and travel upstream to the Dead City, 10 to 140. Or sail through the centre of the southern sea, aiming for Nippor, 10 to 340. Okay, we are going to travel to Sharapak to sell any slaves and stuff. Okay, 301. Sharapak is a large, fair city with sympathetic views towards the inland sea's pirates, who therefore only attack Sharapak's main rivals. Okay, roll 3 dice. If the result is less than your crew strength, add 5 days to your log. If the result is equal to or greater than your crew strength, add 6 days to your log. Upon arrival in Sharapak, will you sell your slaves first, 10 to 349, or hire more crew, 10 to 371? Okay, so we only need to roll. We need to roll 2 dice because of the wind sprites, don't we? Okay. Okay, and we get a 4, which is less than our crew strength, which is 6, I believe. Yep. So we only need to add 5 days to our log. Good. Okay. Okay, so that puts our log up to 42. That's that. There we are. Okay, let's carry on. We are going to sell our slaves first. Turn to 349. Taking a few crewmen and all of your slaves, you head for the markets. The scene is hectic. A recent battle between Sharapak and Marad has resulted in hundreds of Maradian prisoners being taken, and most of them have been brought here to be sold as slaves. As a consequence, competition is very high and prices are low. Will you entrust the business of selling your slaves to an agent, turn to 243, or conduct the transactions yourself, turn to 269? Okay, we are going to use an agent and turn to 245. Okay. After a few inquiries and a bit of haggling, you find a slave trader willing to sell your slaves for you. Test your luck. If you're lucky, turn to 137. If you're unlucky, turn to 189. Okay, our luck is currently 10, I believe. I'll just check that. Yeah, it's currently 10, and we're about to use a luck point, so I'll put it down to 9 now, but it was 10. Anyways, let's test our luck. Can we get an 8? That was less than 10, so we were lucky, but we put it down to 9. Anyway, so we were lucky, and we're turning to 137. Now, the man you chose to sell your slaves for you is an extremely skilled salesman. Even though business is bad and most of your slaves are sickening from the long voyage, he manages to fetch an average price of 12 gold pieces for each slave. Multiply the number of slaves you had by 12 and add the total to your booty as gold pieces. Turn to 279. Okay, so we had 23 slaves. So 23 times 12, well, I know that 20 times 12 is 240, and 3 times 12 is 36, so that would give me an extra 276 gold. So 23 12s are 276. Now I need to add 276 to 565. Well, if I add the 200, that gives me 765. Now I need to add 76. Okay, 65 to 100 is 35. 76 minus 35 is 41, so that's going to give me 841. Yeah. So now I have 841 gold. Good. Okay, brilliant. So a bit of mental arithmetic there. I'll just confirm that on my calculator just in case. Okay, so 23 times 12 is 23 times 12. Yep, 276, and then add that to 565. Yes, I was right. 841. Perfect. Spot on. I still have it. It never went. Okay. Anyway, 841 gold. Brilliant. Multiply the number of slaves you had by 12 and add the total to your booty as gold pieces. Turn to 279. Okay, brilliant. Okay, if you haven't already, you can try to hire more crew, turn to 371, otherwise you return to the Banshee and leave Sharapak, turn to 238. We're going to leave Sharapak and turn to 238. Okay, hoisting sail and weighing anchor, you head out of Sharapak's port and into the southern sea. Will you sail along the coast and then to the Three Sisters, turn to 167, or head for the open sea and speed towards Nippor, turn to 378? We're going to head towards the Three Sisters and turn to 167. Here we are. Nearly? Yes, here we are. Okay, the Banshee cuts through the southern sea towards the Three Sisters. Roll 3 dice. If the result is less than your crew strength, add 4 days to your log. If the result is equal to or greater than your crew strength, add 5 days to your log. As you approach the 3 islands, you see they are grouped together quite closely. The nearest island is low and looks fertile, with neatly tended orchards and small villages of thatched huts. The next island is actually an extinct volcano, its cone rising thousands of feet into the air, while the lower slopes are heavily timbered. The other island is, like the first, quite low, but is dominated by palms and sand. On which will you land? The neat-looking island, turn to 386, the volcanic island, turn to 369, or the palm-covered island, turn to 354. Okay, first we need to roll 2 dice because of the wind sprites, and then we'll decide what to do. And we get a 5, good. Okay, get rid of the buzzing. Okay, so that means we add 4 days to our log. So that puts our log up to 46. There we go. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, now we are going to go to the palm-covered island and turn to 354. Okay, heaving to a short distance from the shore, you disembark with most of your crew. Now, the beach is wide and sandy, but the interior consists of but the interior consists of clumps of coconut palms. Sorry, that's quite funny. Consists of chimps. Anyway, it does sort of look like chimps. Anyway, the beach is wide and sandy, but the interior consists of clumps of coconut palms. Will you head along the beach 10 to 271 or inland 10 to 282? Okay, we're going to head inland, whatever, 282. 282, here we come. Passing through the palms, you come upon an unexpected sight. In the centre of the island is a large lagoon with a narrow entrance from the sea on the other side of the island. Anchored in the centre of this lagoon is a small pirate vessel, the crew of which are rather busy burying something on the shore. Will you attack these competitors, turn to 393, or return to the beach to search for provisions, turn to 271? Here they are. I know it was said on The Simpsons, but why do they always bury treasure? Why don't they spend it? Anyway, we're going to attack these competitors and turn to 393. Okay, drawing your weapons, you and your men sneak up on the unsuspecting pirates. With a shout, you lead your crew in a charge. Pirates, strike 10, strength 6. If you defeat them, turn to 154. Okay, so pirates, 10-6. There we go. And we roll for him first, don't we? Okay. Yeah, so 10 plus 4 is 14. I get 12 plus 5 is 17. So 14 to 17. There we go, puts him down to 4. Okay, next we have 10 plus 5 is 15. I get 21. So 15 to 21. Puts him down to 2. And then 10 plus 10 is 20. I get 21. That was close. So 20 to 21. There we go. That puts him down to 0. There we go. And that's the end of the pirates. Okay, no casualties. Okay, get rid of the buzzing and let's move on. We defeated them, so we're turning to 154. The pirates were, of course, burying their treasure. Lifting the chest out of the hole into which it had so recently been put, you discover that it contains 112 gold pieces. Add this to your booty. Okay, 112, which is 7 times 7 16s, which is 8 14s. Anyway, where am I? So gold, 112, that's 953. So we're up to 953 now. Don't need to check that on a calculator. Anyway, let me just confirm that just in case. Yes, good. Okay, searching the vessel, you find enough provisions and water to see you through the last leg of your journey to Nippor. You return to the Banshee and set sail to the south. Turn to 7. Roll 3 dice. If the result is less than your crew strength, turn to 387. If the result is equal to or greater than your crew strength, turn to 356. And we get a 5, and we only rolled 2 dice because of the wind sprites, so that's less than our crew strength. Good. Okay, removing the buzzing. And we are turning to 387. A storm blows up out of the south, making the going difficult. Your crew, however, are equal to the task of keeping the Banshee on course. When the weather clears, you see your destination, the Isle of Nippor, on the horizon. Were you given earlier in this adventure 2 bags by the King of the Four Winds? If so, turn to 299. If not, turn to 32. Okay, so we're turning to 32 because we weren't given any bags by any king. So keep going. Okay, the Banshee sails into the only large bay that Nippor boasts. Your crew are overjoyed that the journey is over. Roll 3 dice. If the result is less than your crew strength, add 4 days to your log. If the result is equal to or greater than your crew strength, add 5 days to your log. Abdul the Butcher's Havildar is already moored in the bay. The few members of his crew left on board inform you that Abdul has gone inland to the rendezvous point on the peak of Nippor's single mountain. If your log exceeds 50 days, turn to 342. If your log is equal to or less than 50 days, turn to 213. Okay. And we get a 2. Good. Okay, that's less than our crew strength. So we only add 4 days to our log. And that puts us up to an even 50. Excellent. Good. Okay, so that allows us to go to 213. So let's go there now. The dice rolls, I have cheated. I did edit out all the ones where I didn't get the dice rolls I wanted. It is very difficult in this game to not to exceed 50 days, so I've had to do that, I'm afraid. I've had to cheat because it's too difficult and I want to show you the ending, so oh well. Anyway, yes, so I've just edited the video to remove all the many times that I got that I got over my crew strength, really. Anyway, but that's beside the point. Disembarking with a few of your crew and all of your treasure, you head inland towards the central peak of Nippor. Halfway up the mountain, you come to a high wall which seems completely to encircle the interior of the island. You follow the wall around until you come to a break flanked by 2 enormous stone statues. These statues have their arms raised in the air, supporting a large beam which spans the gap between them. From the beam hang the bodies of several sailors, twisting slowly in the wind. A short, wizened creature dressed in loose black robes appears and says, "Sir, you have come to see the mountain. One of you will have to fight the keeper if you want to see the mountain." It cackles and adopts an expectant pose. Would you agree to fight the keeper, turn to 298, or just ignore the threat and head straight through the break in the wall, turn to 389? Okay, we are going to agree to fight the keeper and turn to 298. We're nearly done. Oh dear. Oh dear, he is not a friendly chap, is he? And he's done steroids. Dear oh dear, he is muscular. But his hormonal balance is right off. Anyway, step this way, says the aged creature, showing you to a trapdoor at the base of one of the statues. You must go down there. If you return, you may pass through to the mountain. You open the trapdoor and climb down into the darkness. When you reach the bottom, you see that you are in a dimly lit cavern occupied by a cyclops. This large one-eyed humanoid tears your sheathed sword from you and casts it into a niche high up in the cavern wall. Now, it says, we will fight. You will have to fight it using unarmed combat. Write down the number 311 on a sheet of paper. This is where you should turn. This is to where you should turn if you defeat the monster in the ensuing combat, i.e., as soon as its stamina reaches 0. Also note that its stamina is 16. Now decide on your opening attack. I'll just write that down actually. So Cyclops, stamina 16. Okay, stamina 16. I'll just also write down 311 just so I don't forget, just in case. Where was I? There, that's right. Now decide on your opening attack. Will you take a flying kick at its chest, turn to 206, punch it in the shoulder, turn to 91, or jump in close and elbow it in the ribs, turn to 29. There he is. Very funny. I've always wondered about Cyclops. I mean, you know your eyes, they have like one side is where the tear duct is and the other side isn't. So what would it be on a Cyclops? Would tear ducts be on both or just one? Or would it not have any tear ducts? Because it's sort of like the eyes aren't sort of symmetrical, are they? Because one side is different from the other. So it would have to have one or both, because it couldn't just have, or maybe it just has a tear duct but only on one side, which would be a bit weird. Oh well, there we go. Anyway, that's that. We're going to do a flying kick to the chest, at its chest. So 206, here we come. Taking a short run up, you jump in the air and kick out the cyclops' chest, striking it a heavy blow. Deduct 2 points from the creature's stamina. Will do. That puts it down to 14. It utters a short grunt and stumbles back, lashing out with a huge paw as it does so. Grabbing you by the forearm, it lifts you into the air. Will you backhand it in the elbow, turn to 145, kick it in the armpit, turn to 305, or bite it on the wrist, turn to 276? We're going to kick it in the armpit and turn to 305. Summoning all your energy, you swing violently and smash the creature in the armpit with your foot. Screaming, it drops you to the ground and then clutches its wound. Deduct 2 points from its stamina. Down to 12 then. Landing lightly, you run nimbly behind the stricken cyclops. Will you punch it in the kidneys, turn to 347, elbow it in the back of the knees, turn to 46, or take a flying kick into the middle of its back, turn to 384? Okay, we are going to elbow it in the back of the knees and turn to 46. Flailing your arm, you smash the monster in the back of the knees. It staggers forwards and, losing balance, collapses to the ground onto some sharp rocks. Deduct 2 points from its stamina. Puts it down to 10. Will you kick it in the ribs, turn to 266, kick it in the groin, turn to 224, or punch it in the jaw, turn to 196? We're going to punch it in the jaw and turn to 196, which is 14 squared, as we know. Whoops, wrong one. Running up to the creature's head, you punch it with terrific force in the jaw. Deduct 2 points from its stamina. 8. Okay. The cyclops staggers to its feet, holding its head. Recovering slightly, it launches into a crouched attack, running to catch you in its arms. Will you punch it in the eye, turn to 156, step sideways and deliver an elbow smash to its arm, turn to 74, or take a flying kick at its midriff, turn to 60? We're going to punch it in the eye, which isn't very nice, but oh well, 156. As the cyclops grabs you, you let fly a swift punch into its single large eye. Deduct 2 points from its stamina. Yeah, it's not very nice, that. Screaming in pain, the monster lifts you into the air by one of your legs. Hanging upside down, will you punch it in the stomach, turn to 139, butt it in the ribs, turn to 372, or kick it in the elbow, turn to 235? We're going to kick it in the elbow and turn to 235. Twisting, you deliver a sharp kick to the cyclops' elbow, possibly inducing a hairline fracture. It screams and drops you to the ground. Deduct 2 points from its stamina. Getting to your feet, you face your stricken opponent. Will you punch it in the shoulder, turn to 91, elbow it in the ribs, turn to 29, or take a flying kick at its chest, turn to 206? Okay, we are going to do a flying kick at its chest, turn to 206. Taking a short run up, you jump in the air and kick out at the cyclops' chest, striking it a heavy blow. Deduct 2 points from the creature's stamina. 2. It utters a short grunt and stumbles back, lashing out with a huge paw as it does so. Grabbing you by the forearm, it lifts you into the air. Will you backhand it in the elbow, turn to 145, kick it in the armpit, turn to 305, or bite it on the wrist, turn to 276? We are going to kick it in the armpit again and turn to 305. Summoning all your energy, you swing violently and smash the creature in the armpit with your foot. Screaming, it drops you to the ground and then clutches its wound. Deduct 2 points from its stamina. That's that. So it's down to 0. So now we can turn to 311. So now we're turning to 311 because we've defeated the Cyclops. The Cyclops drops to the ground unconscious. Victorious, you climb back up the ladder and through the trapdoor to face the wizened old creature who sent you down in the first place. He cackles when you appear and then ushers you through the gap in the wall, indicating the path you must take to reach the summit of Nippor's mountain. 10 to 36. Okay. 36, here we come. Okay, when you reach the summit, you find Abdul the Butcher and a few of his men waiting for you. Ah, he says when you appear, you made it. Now let us see which is the greater rascal. He drags an enormous chest forward. I sacked Kish, he boasts, and even captured a Marad war galley. The treasure is here to prove it. He opens his coffer, inviting you to do the same with yours. To work out whether you have more than Abdul, round the amount of gold you have down to the nearest 100. E.g., if you have 387 gold pieces, round this figure down to 300. When you have done this, divide the rounded figure by 2. The result is the number that you should turn to. If the number you should turn to is more than 400, turn to 400. Okay, so round it down to the nearest 100. So that round it down to 900. 900 divided by 2 is 450. 450 is more than 400. Therefore, off we go. What if it's not? Doesn't say if it's not. Oh, then we've lost, obviously. Yeah, so that's it. Anyway, so we get a number of 450, which is more than 400, so we're now turning to 400. I can't help thinking that that battle against the Cyclops was just something to fill up some paragraphs. Anyway, here we go. There, you say to Abdul, flinging your coffer open to reveal an amount of gold substantially greater than his own. I am the victor. I am the greatest rascal, the best sacker of cities. Abdul bows his head, admitting your victory. You have won. Lovely. What a lovely story. You know, and a great moral at the end as well. You know, I feel you know, really morally enriched after reading that. You know, I feel like I'm a better person for reading that. Anyways, that's the end of that. We won, so that's the end of Seize the Blood. Yes, as I said before, I did have to edit those dice rolls. I edited the video to remove all my unsuccessful ones because my crew strength was only 6. This is a very difficult book, I must say. You need to get lower than 50 days in order to win. It's very difficult. Also, that other crew strength thing I did where it wasn't adding it to my log, if you fail that, you're dead. So that's that. So the one where afterwards it says something about the wind, the king of the wind or something, king of the 4 winds. The one before that where I had to test my crew strength, if you fail on that, you are dead. So you have to be successful at that, and it's difficult with only 6 crew strength. Anyway, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed Seize the Blood. Don't know what my next video will be. It will probably be another video game. I'll have a think about that. But yeah, I might take a bit of a break as well. I'm a bit frowned off with doing videos, so might have a bit of a break. But when I come back, I will do another Master System video game or something like that. I'll think about it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and goodbye.